How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Black Book Club. And this is the first edition of Black Book of the Day, where I recommend a book that I read or that I've heard of that I really think a reader would really enjoy. And today we're talking about the book King Peggy, which was written by Peggielene Bartels. And it says, an American secretary, her royal destiny, and the inspiring story of how she changed an African village. And what this book is about is in 2008, Peggy received a phone call from her cousin letting her know that her uncle had passed away. And her uncle was a king in the village of Atum, which is a West African village. Not only that, but during an ancestral ceremony, she was chosen to be the next king of the village. And so her cousin was letting her know that, hey, we need you to move to Africa to assume the responsibility of being the king. And Peggy avoided the job for 2 to 3 days. And it details in the book here about how she would receive visions and she would hear voices from the ancestors letting her know that this was her destiny and to not be afraid and that she should go ahead and, assume the position of king. So she ended up actually going over to Africa in Otum to assume the responsibility. And it details how, as the first woman to be the king of this African town, she received a lot of pushback from family members as well as from townspeople who didn't want somebody that was an American to come over and tell them what to do, basically. And so throughout the book, she details how she implemented a lot of changes into the African village. She actually opened the first bank there. And she gathered sponsors from all around to help the children be able to go to school. And she, like I said, she received pushback from her own family, from her uncle's family. She received pushback from some other African villages because they did not know who she was. And she talks about how she was able to face those challenges and still put in those changes that she really believed in and that would serve her village well. And I read this book in about 2018. I went to the bookstore on a random visit, and the cover grabbed me. The title King Peggy grabbed me, and you just see this, strong African woman with the crown on her head. So I just decided to read it, and it's one of the best autobiographies that I've read, honestly. And it is a book that really just talks to you about following your dreams and following your calling in the world and having confidence in yourself. So this is a book that I would recommend to anybody that really enjoys autobiographies, biographies. It also has a historical aspect to it as well. So I would suggest this book to just about anybody. Thank you.